So guys, here we are with the next video. This is about another very important indicator you should observe all time, no matter if you are trading forex, crypto, stocks or whatever, because this indicator is so awesome that it will give you possibly the potential next move and prediction how the Federal Reserve will act, the Fed, and if though you will be able to be prepared and aware of what's coming next, right? So we get first of all, if you go my YouTube channel, you see here the last video of indicator, the copper indicator. So the most secret indicator, that's very important video you need to watch. If you haven't watched it, watch it first and then watch the silver video, because you will understand the causalities but also the connections between these two markets, and together these two indicators will boost your trading. If you go back here, and I will mark a very important passage here. So on 28th of February, right, we see that along that time we had an uncertainty in the market. So the moves also of silver suddenly started to break out of range, went in, out, and then finally they started to break out and to around November 2024, so around 2-3 weeks ago. Then they went up, and now guess what's happening next? Look here, silver still in an uptrend and starts to break off, right? Why is this move very important to you if you are trading crypto, if you are trading stocks, indices, whatever, especially Nasdaq and so on? We want to look back again to this breakout on 28th of February this year, and the move started already here, and somewhere here the Federal Reserve started to say something very important, and we want to see what they say. So this is the stock market news of 28th 2024. Wall Street closed with a mixed performance on Tuesday as investors awaited crucial inflation data, which could influence the Federal Reserve's interest rate decision. Market participants also assessed a robust fourth quarter earning results, while the Nasdaq closed in positive territory. The Dow Jones finished in negative zone. And look now, if you go now to the indices and to see what's happening in the indices market. So if I click on Dow Jones, what's happening to Dow Jones? Tomorrow the unemployment claims, and on Friday non-farm payroll coming down. So currently the market is up. Dow Jones halted the trading here at the top. Nasdaq is also in positive territory, but, and that's very important, look at this, guys. Look at this. The Russell hesitates to drive higher. Normally, Russell is faster than Dow Jones and US 30, but in this case, Russell is building very volatile moves at the top, and it refuses to go in this direction. Instead, it wants to come back, and this is going along with the move of silver. So we see now silver very, very nicely is going to maintain its own bullish trend. So why is this important? Because silver is a very important instrument like copper that's very sensitive and moves when big investors, I don't say investors, I'm saying big, powerful, financially powerful investors. For example, Warren Buffett, for example, Elon Musk, for example, central banks, governments like China, Saudi Arabia, India, and who have the power or the most power and rule above money and financials, they expect uncertainty. Where do uncertainty start and happen? They start with governments. Never forget that. The governments cause inflation, they produce, generate inflation. The governments know exactly, for example, the government of a country knows what is the next move of, let's say, Saudi Arabia, of China, of India, of the United States, of Europe, or whatever. Why? Because they have diplomats, political diplomats in the other countries, and diplomats are also politicians who are owned, most of them by lobbies and also financial institutions. And the big financially powerful guys own them, not personally like a slave, but they pay them, right? For example, a lobby of a kind of industry, let's say crypto lobby or pharma lobby, are paying billions of dollars every year to politicians because those politicians should say or should make new laws for those companies or those big companies or lobbies to bring them much more capital. So these big guys have very powerful network. That means all of the guys I said now, I named them, right? Diplomats, governments, central banks, lobbyists, big companies, for example, farmers, also crypto billionaires. They have this very powerful network, and they have therefore very big information and insider information network. They know, for example, what Kamala Harris or Biden or let's say Donald Trump will announce or say next week, and if not precisely, but they know it with 90% accuracy because they own big money, right? We are talking here about billions, if not trillions of dollars. So they need to ensure them, and therefore they take actions also in financial markets to be on the right side, to hedge themselves, to protect the capital against the losses, and. So they go, first of all, in very sensitive markets, very slowly, for example, like copper and also silver, because they smell that Fed will have an ass in his pocket, and therefore now a lot of other retail traders are also unsure about the next move of Fed. So we see now Sunday, Fed today, Powell said he is happy, he is really satisfied with the economy now. What does that mean? It has two meanings, like two coins, right? Does it mean that they will cut the interest rates on December the 18th? If yes, how much? A lot of market participants want the rate cut, but they say now it's not necessary. Why? Because the last rate cut happened too big too soon, and that's heating up the inflation. And this time they are very worried about if Jerome Powell is going to cut, or the Fed is going to cut the rates by 0.25% or 0.5%. And if Fed does it, that means the rate cuts happen minus 0.5%. Normally, theoretically, the stock market should rocket up, but I tell you something. The stock market will come down only if Fed doesn't cut 0.25%, but doing it above or more than 0.25%. That's very, very important. And therefore now, copper and silver, and watch again my last couple videos, I told in the video also some other mechanisms of the market. You should observe this market. And now you see the silver prices are rising. What is your next move?